Ok, nå sitter vi her med sjefen sjøl, Marco Mendoza.
Am I on the screen? I'm not on the shot, huh?
Yeah, you're on the
shot. The smaller screen in the front is just not showing the whole
Just
width.
making sure.
Yeah.
Hi.
Så Marco Mendoza
Yes,
er en av de største rockebassistene omtrent som finnes der ute, og har spilt med alle de største navnene, og det er jævlig kult at vi har fått han med oss.
Vi kommer nok mer inn på det i løpet av samtalen vår med han.
Ja.
So let's just jump straight in.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thanks
for taking some time to talk to us.
My pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure. Good luck in USC.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
It's awesome, great move.
Yeah. So we are sitting now with one of the biggest names in bass, rock bass. You have played with so many of the greats.
Yeah, I've been lucky, man. Very lucky that way. Yeah.
Whitesnake, David Coverdale, Neal Schon.
Yes, sir.
Thin Lizzy.
Yeah. Thin Lizzy, Ted Nugent, John Sykes. It's amazing.
Everything.
Wow.
You hang out long enough, you end up playing with them.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for a while, yeah. And I have to say, part of the reason is because I moved to LA, and that becomes, you're accessible, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's,
of course.
I tell everybody that's an aspiring player to try and make a move there, because it's still, after the changes that we've gone through, I still believe LA is one of the places to be at. You know, there's a lot of activity. Nashville is kind of taking over a little bit on the recording side, and the performance side, live performance. But Austin, for example, there's quite a few. Memphis, but LA is still, by comparison, one of the best places. So that's part of the reason, man, to be honest, you know. You're there, people hear you, they grab your phone number, and then they call you when they need you. So it's been one of those. I've been very lucky. Very lucky.
But you are from LA, or where are you from?
I grew up in Tijuana, which is south of the border of San Diego, California, in Mexico. I grew up in Mexico for the first 14 years of my life. I was down there. But it's a border town. So we used to cross the border and spend a lot of time in the U.S. I was born in San Diego, California, but I grew up down there, and so I have the dual citizenship, the dual cultural thing, the bilingual thing. We have our own language. We call it Spanglish. It's a little different. I would compare it to your border, you know, to you, Norway would be Sweden. So you have, I'm sure there's some slang, some language words that you have, right? That are a mixture of both. So so that's what it is. But I was lucky like that, and I spent my time in San Diego a lot, doing a lot of gigs, a lot of work. But everybody knew that LA was the place to be. So as soon as I could, I moved to Los Angeles.
And you've been there ever since? I've
been there for 95 years now. I've been there for a long time. 36 years now.
Wow.
Long time. But it's been a great journey. Amazing journey.
And how exactly did that journey start? How did it begin? Obviously with you picking up a bass guitar and deciding. How did you decide on becoming a bass player?
Actually, I started with a guitar. I grew up in a home. My parents separated. My mother was a professional singer. She got on the charts down in Mexico. And so there was a lot of influence, a lot of musical stuff going on when I was growing up. And then when my parents separated, my grandmother came from Mexico City, and she was a classical piano teacher. So she came in with the piano, and all that comes with that. So I got exposed to all that. Ear training, and she's the reason why I play music, to be honest. She's the reason why I got interested in music, not the music business, but music, because she taught me how to appreciate harmonies and everything that comes with, you know, with playing piano, classical music. She taught me how to hear, you know, chord changes and all that, and ear training was a big part. And then my brother, who was older, I was the middle child. I don't know if you guys are, but it's something to be said about that. It's very true. When you're a middle child, you know, the younger one gets all the love, and then the older one gets all the focus. And I'm going, please help me. Somebody throw me a bone, throw me a bone. And so my brother got a guitar for his birthday, an acoustic guitar. And I started with the piano, and I realized shortly after that it was too technical. It was very disciplined, and you had to play within a box. Everything was written the way it was written. You had to play the way it was written.
Yeah.
And my brain I was so scattered that I lost interest. The guitar was laying there, and I could grab it and go into a dark little room away from anybody and everybody, and I could go in my own pace to learn. Yeah. And there was a book of chords, Mel Bay book of chords, and I learned some chords, and then I realized, wow, I can play a lot of songs with 3 chords, 4 chords, wow. Yeah. And that was it, guitar. The transition came after a band, another garage band, my brother and I started, another garage band needed a bass player.
Okay.
And they were doing bigger gigs, school gigs and local gigs, and they had a van, they had a PA, they had a name, and
nice.
And so their bass player left town, and they approached me and they said, because I sang a little bit, they said, we're looking for a bass player that can sing, can you audition? And that was it. So I learned 5 songs, I came and auditioned, and I got the gig, and the rest is history, like they say. Cool. But I realized that the bass required a little more concentration, the other side of the brain for me, and to sing and play also was very challenging. So I like that.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
So.
They say that bass players who can sing get all the jobs.
I tell everybody to this day, it's another tool.
Yeah.
In your box to have, especially in the past 20 years, 30 years, I've gotten a lot of gigs because I can sing background vocals.
Yeah.
And that's a plus,
Yeah,
and now when I have, with my solo stuff, I try to encourage my players to sing. And I will take credit. I a couple of cats that insisted they couldn't sing, and I'm like, bro, if you play an instrument, you can sing. Just relax, don't worry about it. You're in a good environment, and all of a sudden they sing, and they sing little parts, and they develop a skill, and now it's cool. They move on to bigger gigs, But it's a plus, definitely.
Yeah. You're gonna start growing the confidence.
Yeah, it's what it is.
Yeah,
breaking through that barrier that believe it or not, I'm very introverted. I used to be very introverted inside, so I went through all those challenges, and now I'm the opposite, as you can tell.
Yeah.
Which is great for us.
Yeah, I love it.
We can
I'm really okay. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. And where did your journey continue after joining that band?
That band exposed me to bigger projects, like it does. And I got recruited by a group of people that were already recording. They had a couple of albums, and they had names and big profiles, and we toured in Mexico. Big stages, big audiences, and all that. So I was 15, 16, and I got recruited on the road, and that was it. After that, I got married. I had kids right away, and when that slowed down, that project fell apart. I had to look for work, so I came to San Diego, and I did every possible gig that you could do in San Diego. So, and I started working, and it's been like that. Then San Diego being so close to LA, producers and songwriters and artists would come and listen to you, and then they start offering you gigs and work. So I would drive up to LA or fly up and do a little bit of work. And obviously I was doing something right. You leave your number, and then people start calling. It's that, that step up. But it's like that. It's a progressive thing,
Yeah, once the ball starts rolling.
Yeah. I was impressed. This producer friend of mine that was working for Motown recruited me to do some session work. And he exposed me to another level. A lot of artists, a lot of players, the big cats and the big names, and from there, it kept going and going and going. I was auditioning for some pretty big artists at the time. I was getting calls.
So you auditioned to be a part of that specific artist's band?
Yeah. Oh. Like I auditioned for Cher, I auditioned for Lionel Richie, to name a few, and many, many others. And I mean, I didn't end up getting the gigs, but my point is, I was in the circle now. I was in. I was one of the cats that used to get the calls.
Yeah, and your name was out there.
Yeah. And then, to make a long story short, I fell into every hole you could imagine with drugs and alcohol, and I got into trouble, into a lot of trouble, and I got sober in '87. I'm talking 87, September 20th. I got sober, and then my life changed.
Yeah. Wow.
Then,
amazing. That's great.
Yeah. And then I started landing the bigger gigs, the big artists and the big tours and all that. And it's been great, you know. Wow. And I now I remember what I do the night before.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah, of course.
Because I was in trouble, man. I got into. That's another story, another interview. But drugs and alcohol can be a big obstacle, man, for a lot of folks.
And there's a lot of that in this industry.
Yeah.
So,
and if you're
gotta be careful.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you are, I tend to be I have that addictive personality. When I like something, I like it too much. When I fall in love, I fall in love too much. When I hurt, I hurt. You know, I've got that personality. Yeah. I've learned to manage it now, through my sobriety. But that's what it was. So if I got a little buzz, I want more and more and more, and it got to be pretty constricting, and I started losing gigs and jobs, and then for a few years I had a bad reputation in the industry.
Oh.
Yeah. So the calls stop.
Yeah.
The work stops, the whole thing. Oh. And so man, it was really, really great that. Divine intervention for me.
Yeah.
September 20th, 1987. Boom.
Exact date.
That's it. Yeah, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wow.
I have to think like that.
Yeah.
So it's been almost 36 years, you guys.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It truly is.
And obviously you're here.
I'm here.
Touring.
I'm still healthy, thank God. The brain is still. The brain is still.
It's still there.
It's still.
But we of course heard you play yesterday, and we heard you play at the clinic, and the fingers are still flying. It sounds awesome.
Thank you. I love what I do, man. I have to say, that's
it shows.
We can tell.
Really
that's the factor that's still in me, you know. And I tell the kids, the younger generations that are getting into the business, if you're in it for the music, if you're in it for the love and the passion of the music and what you can learn and the whole journey about it, you'll be around for a long time. Yeah. If you're in it for all the other... Microphone dropped. Did you hear that? I dropped the microphone. That's a hip-hop thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's a hip-hop thing. But,
we can try to reattach it.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But... excuse me. If you're in it for the right reason, because the music industry can slap you around a little bit, and I've had a few experiences where I start getting, I wake up on the wrong side of the bed and start resenting things and all that, and it's a privilege to do what we do. When I wake up on that side of the bed and I go, thank you for allowing me to have a career and to play with all these amazing artists and to have this work still at this stage in my career and this stage of my life, then everything is a plus. You know, it's an attitude thing. But a lot of kids get in it for the wrong reason sometimes. I'm realizing, so those are the kids that will find some problems along the way, I think.
Makes sense.
Because the way I read it, the way it keeps me surviving is the music. It's its own reward.
I
have to live like that. Yeah. And all the other stuff comes and goes, and it changes, and it flips, and all that. But
and it's such a hard industry to be in, so I don't think you'll be able to make it unless you have that innate passion and that kind of true inspiration that comes from within.
Yes. Really. Always changing, always learning, always challenging yourself. Which is why
be in it for the music.
Yeah, which is why it brings me to my solo stuff. I think I waited. I won't say I have any regrets, because I don't. But if I could do something different, if I could change, I would stay away from drugs and alcohol, one. And I would pursue songwriting and doing a solo thing earlier, you know.
Yeah.
But I can't complain because I was really busy working and touring and recording and all that. So now that's a new vehicle that I'm on. You know? I'm pursuing my solo stuff, and it seems to be catching on slowly, but it seems to be getting on the radar. We're getting invited here and there. We're doing some festivals, a lot of festivals this year. And
cool.
Sales are okay. Label's happy. We're all good. So, and I have a blast. You know,
which is the best.
I have a catalog of so many original songs that's been an issue. What songs to play? Because we only have an hour and a half, 2 hours, and so that makes me feel good.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
of course.
Yeah. So
how many solo albums have you released?
4.
4. Yeah.
Live for Tomorrow. That was Frontiers. I'm glad you asked. Live for Tomorrow, Frontiers, which we just reissued. That Frontiers was cool enough. Live for Tomorrow, Frontiers, Casa Mendoza, which is, I did that. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I meant 2. I just flipped my own bird. Bird. Oh, no. Casa Mendoza, which is Mascot. And that's pretty eclectic, all over the place. And the last couple on Mighty Target Music, which is Viva La Rock and New Direction. I'm very proud, man, of the music. I have a great team of people. I have a great producer, great guitar player, Soren Anderson, who was working with Glenn Hughes now again. Cool. And so, yeah, man, it's a great ride, you know. I'm at the baby steps, honestly, of songwriting and going out there as a solo artist. So I'm really challenging myself.
But isn't that great? Like, after everything you've accomplished and experienced through this life so far, that you still can experiencing something new and feel that you are still evolving as a musician and human being, of course.
Absolutely. And that's I think that's what keeps me going, that I'm challenging myself. And you know, you're rolling the dice, man. You're getting on you know, on the trapeze without a net, you know. And it's
great
but
things
it's exciting.
Can happen.
Adrenaline. It's I'm addicted to that, the adrenaline. Man. When you get in front of hundreds or thousands of people and they're singing your song and they got a mosh pit going. I just got that's you can't buy that. You can't pay for that. And so that's what keeps you going, you know, challenging yourself.
Absolutely. And suddenly you also get to know new people. Like, for instance, you
here.
Yeah, you recruited like the 2 young musicians from Croatia, which we
hung out with them.
Yeah, we hung out
night,
with them.
Had
a couple of beers.
Mario
really
Lepoglavets on drums and Ivan Keller on guitar. Yeah. And before them, I mean, I've had great players. Soren Anderson being one, Morten Halborn from Denmark, amazing drummer. Anders Bo, also another great guitar player from Denmark. In the UK, I have Kyle Hughes on drums, Tommy Gentry on guitar, Mickey McChrystal. I mean, the list just goes on. In Italy, I have another team of people, you know.
Yeah, cool.
That's amazing. You're working on a global scale.
Yeah. I started. That's the other thing that challenges me, to be honest. And you have your preferences. You kind of find the people that you kind of click a little better with. Yeah, because when you get on the road, it's a family. You're hanging out. Yeah. You're having breakfast together. You're traveling. You're playing. You have dinners together. So it's a family. And I've been very lucky that I recruit some of the younger players, talented cats, man. Yeah. They come on board, and without sounding pretentious, I think we expose them to another level, and then they get nabbed by a bigger project, which is great.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
So that's part of the process to kind of giving back, if you will. Yeah. You know, there is a business side that, you know, as things get better, then everybody benefits from it. But
like you're giving other people the opportunity that was given to you.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And it's always the case that when you play with people that are better than yourself, you will always learn.
Yes.
But of course, if the chemistry is like you feel included and everything is okay, but then you can just harvest all the knowledge, play together, have a great time.
Yes.
Yeah.
The thing, there's something to be said about that, about spending time. I always try to keep the same lineup as much as I can. The same guitar players, same drummers, but this is part of the process. They're going to get I mean, I already have my guys now, Ivan and Mario. I've already sent their names out to some bigger projects that are looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do that with everybody. It's what it is, you know, because that's what happened to me. It's a give and take there, reciprocal, you know. But I've met some talented cats, man, that otherwise wouldn't get exposed to the bigger, the global thing, you know. That sounds really pretentious, but I do have a little bit of a profile around the planet playing with these big projects. But so yeah, it's all good, man, and they're happy. They're grateful to be playing. And I love the young bloods, man. I really do. I tap into that energy because it reminds me of me. I look at the cats and go, wow, I remember, man. I remember, you know, a few years back when I got to play with so-and-so and so-and-so on stage. People I used to listen to. People I had their albums and their CDs and their cassettes because back then. And now I'm on stage with them going, whoa, how cool is that?
Getting a live masterclass every night.
Yeah. It's very cool. So, and I got to say, to be honest, every lineup that I play with, I always learn so much from them.
Yeah.
From them. Especially, I really like to get tight with the drummers.
Yeah, of course, as a bass player, because you have to lock in together and be like in a symbiosis. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And
foundation.
And for me, one thing that I do focus on, which I think it's very important, is it's really important factor in the bigger picture, music, whatever music it is, genres, the groove, the pocket, the rhythm, the tempo.
Yeah.
Boom. It's all there.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're playing a harmonic instrument, well then melodies, rhythm, tempo, you know, groove, pocket again. But drummer-bass player relationship is very important. So I've been very lucky. Mario's a great player, great player, and he gets so excited. I love that, man. I look at him.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I really tap into that energy.
Yeah,
you know?
People play each other good, as we say in Norway.
Being 85 years old, you can imagine it's hard to remember. You know what I mean. But anyway.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's nice to just play on each other's energy and.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. I dropped the mic again, and I didn't.
Yeah. No problem.
It happens. Yeah.
And I'm not rapping.
Yeah.
So very cool.
Yeah, but since like we're a guitar podcast, it would be nice, of course, to mention some specific gear. Like, for instance, what kind of basses and amps or pedals do you play? What's your typical setup?
Right now I am endorsed by Ampeg.
Nice.
Bass amps, and most of the time on the big stage we do Ampeg. Recently I did Journey. I was playing with Journey and we had Ampeg and great rig. And there are some great amps out there, I gotta say. It's very competitive, and you know, everybody, they've set the precedent, so everybody's coming up and stepping up. A lot of amazing gear, and I could drop names, you know. Before Ampeg, I was with them for years, and then I moved on. Most recently, I did Harkey, but I'm with Ampeg. I have a signature bass with ESP right now, which is the M4.
Yeah, cool.
And Diodario strings. I like to say this. This is my stock answer, and it's very true. If you're a trade guy, right? Like you guys, you're doing podcasts and all that. You want the best mic, you want the best camera. So it's important that you surround yourself with the best tools. And I've been very lucky that way that I surround myself with the best tools. If you're a carpenter, you need the best saws, the best hammers, the best gear. So I've been very lucky like that, and I insist on using Shure. I work with Shure, Sennheiser, Diodario strings, so on and so forth. Man, you know, right now we are building a few basses with a big company right now.
Cool.
You can't say which company?
Out of respect to my commitment right now. We'll do the proper thing at NAMM show, I think, in LA.
Okay. So cool. Yeah, so stay tuned for NAMM show.
Yeah, we'll make some announcements. If everything moves forward the way it's supposed to. Things, you know, after the pandemic, things change so much. So we'll see where it goes. But right now, it's what it is. It's one of those things. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Nice.
And the other questions? Oh, we were talking about the solo albums, right? Viva La Rock.
We were, yeah.
Viva La Rock and New Direction. Please check it out when you can. I really love that album. Those albums, actually. All of them.
Absolutely.
But these are the most recent ones.
Cool. Are you working on anything at the moment?
I'm sorry?
Are you working on anything new at the moment?
There's,
Music?
We're supposed to do another album for Iconic.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar. Great band, great project, amazing. Joe Hoekstra on guitar and all the cats, man. Michael Sweet on the other guitar singing, Tommy Aldridge drums.
Oh, cool.
Nathan James singing, amazing singer. And that's a great project. So we're talking about, we released an album last year and it did really well, Frontiers. And so we're talking about that. There's a few other artists that I'm talking to about doing their album, their albums. I get a lot of calls. It's very cool, very, very cool.
It's amazing.
So we'll see.
Still going strong.
Yeah, but my focus is to play my show, my solo thing as much as possible right now.
Yeah, cool.
And so we'll see where it goes, 2023, can you believe it?
Yeah.
Wow. Almost not.
Wow.
Time flies.
Yeah,
2023.
Yeah.
Wow. What happened, man? 10 years went like...
Yeah.
Yes. So, anything else? Winding down?
Winding down,
I think we're good, actually. We can keep on enjoying the festival, seeing what happens. Otherwise,
shall we sing a song? Boys? Can we sing a song?
We can harmonize three voicings. No. But thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Yeah, my pleasure, guys.
Absolutely.
Giving us your story and talking about...
Go to MarcoMendoza.com. All updates
that.
and info is there. And you send it to me, we'll upload it and all that stuff.
Oh, cool,
I'm sorry, I apologize. There's no liner or lipstick. My airline lost it.
Yeah, we'll might fix it in post.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we can just put it on later. Yeah, of course.
You can edit all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the bunny ears. Can you do that for me, please?
Yeah, we can do the bunny ears.
Bunny ears,
But thanks again for your time and keep enjoying the festival.
Yeah.
Tusen tack.
And remember to check out all of your project and your solo stuff.
Please do, you guys.
Yeah.
And all my friends here through the years and fans, thank you so much. I really appreciate all your support and love. And it's been coming really strong. Keep coming. And we'll see you out there.
Yeah. Make sure to catch Marco when he comes to your town.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or your country.
Yes.
See ya.
Bye.